Hey, what's going on everybody? Doka the Dingus aka Wagonford here, and welcome back to Doka the Uncut. This time we have another mock video. This time we're mocking John Jr. for the BUBL matchup versus Pokeaim. So this is an exciting matchup, at least. Let's see what I can do to prepare John for this game as best as I can. So let's get right into the matchup. You see it over on the right. So let's break it down a little bit. Iron Valiant looks pretty good. I mean, it's Iron Valiant. Iron Valiant's great. We used to not have a fairy resist other than Muck. Now we don't have one other than Tentacruel, which Tentacruel is a way more like usable one just because of the amount of rolls it can fill. So it's a bit better for John now. But physical Valiants can still do well into it, like just a standard sword stance sneak one for the Dio, or just booster speed sword stance can both be pretty good here. Not like a huge amount that John can do about booster speed, just because Scarf and Am won't outspeed it, so long as I can actually get it in to when, like, at a point where it can kill everything, which honestly doesn't look like there's too many conditions for that. So this probably means that from John's perspective, we're looking at a more anti-Valiant like offensive build, just so as much as possible can't let its sword stance, because the moment it gets a sword stance off, it does kind of look like it wins. If you wanted to go a more like standard, like balanced-ish route, you could go for like Piafaberry one-time check Cruel and like Scarf fucking Dio, but I don't know if you want to run Scarf Dio, so I'm kind of expecting more of an offensive build here to keep Valiant from clicking sword stance. Samurott looks okay. It can't hit Zarude with its stabs, but it can X-Scissor Zarude and Sacred Sword it and Air Slash it. It can also Air Slash the Conkeldurr, which could be Helmet, physically defensive. Arch, it can Sacred Sword through the defense boosts from stamina, so that's also pretty valuable. Defensively, not super valuable. It does help with Dio a little bit, so that's actually kind of huge. Like if we wanted to run an Assault Vest set or a Choppleberry set, that could make a lot of sense. Choppleberry, like Air Slash for the Conch, could make a lot of sense. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Something like that. Pecharunt, we have Terra Pecharunt, which is very interesting. It is one of our fairy resists for his Enamorous. Our other one is Empoleon, which is definitely a sturdy fairy resist. So like Pecharunt might not need to stay like a poison type, but maybe it will. I don't know. I don't love Empoleon just as a Pokemon in general. It does have some defensive merit here. It can deal pretty well with Enamorous. It can take pretty much, like, it can take both stabs of Arch, and like with a Choppleberry not take too much from Body Press, but it's like we're already considering 2 Choppleberries. This is insane. It doesn't take literally anything from Tentacruel, but it can't do much back other than slow flip turn, which to be fair is pretty valuable. But if we can't deal with the +1 defense Archaludon coming in on the flip turn, then that could be annoying. But we do have a Landorus next, so that can definitely just break through that. So perhaps Empoleon is not so bad. Yeah. Landorus can kill the Arch. That's pretty much his whole thing. Kills the Arch, and it is a bit forcing into John's team. It gets Grass Knot for the Pert, Sludge Wave for the 2 ground resists. So yeah, those 3 moves do hit pretty well here, I will say. So that guy's a pretty good wall breaker. Belly Bolt. I don't really know how to think about Belly Bolt for Pokeaim. Like he's ran Terra Water Belly Bolt. I just don't know why like specifically, he would run a Terra Belly Bolt over Terra Pecharunt unless Pecharunt literally couldn't Terra, or it would ruin the defensive synergy of the team. I don't know. Joey's team is weird like that. He has 3 defensive Terras. And like, why would you ever run Terra Avalugg when you can do the other 2, you know? And then in that same vein, why would you do Terra Belly Bolt when you could Terra Petch? But so I guess like the main thing is like if the Pecharunt can't Terra for whatever reason, for like a defensive thing, then Belly Bolt has to do it. So it's a bit awkward. Latios looks very good. John only has 1 Dragon Resist, and it's an Amorous, so, and we outspeed an Amorous, so a like Soul Dew Latios could totally do really well here. Colbur is also maybe reasonable. So like what, like Draco T-Bolt. I don't know if you would try to fit any move for the Zarude other than just trying to like Calm Mind up once and then nuke it with Draco. Like you get Ice Beam, I guess. Maybe, oh, you know what? Ice Beam can cover both Enam and Zarude. So maybe you just go Draco Ice Beam, right? And then you could carry like Psyshock for the Tentacruel and then kill everything. That like kind of makes sense. This guy hits really well into the team. Whimsicott. I don't really know how I would use Whimsicott yet, because like surely one of the defensive Terras can defensively check the Zarude. And you can't even Prankster Encore Zarude. I don't really know where I would be using Whimsicott yet, but I never really counted out, just because of the utility it can do with Prankster. It does hit Swampert and Conch super effectively, I guess. So maybe we can find it. It also does take hits pretty well from Raikou. So, you know, Raikou could be annoying, but if we have Belly Bolt with like slow pivots and Toxic, then maybe. But Raikou could be sub Calm Mind, so maybe that means that you could want to run a sub Calm Mind Raikou, and then Whimsicott would shut that down. So that's like probably the main use of Whimsicott, is shutting down sub Calm Mind Raikou, because I could see that actually working for sure, actually. Okay. We actually might need to slot Whimsicott then, because straight up, how do you beat sub Calm Mind Raikou otherwise? So that's the first thing on the list of things I might want to tell John, is run sub Calm Mind Raikou, because it actually does match up well into a lot, assuming that +1 Scald after like rocks maybe can Oko the Landorus if it's not Assault Vest. My calc is loading. Ugh. My whole computer has been shitting itself lately. I can't even tell if it's like actually loading the calc, because oh my god, dude, it's like so laggy. Hello? Jesus Christ. Try enabling JavaScript, holy shit. Okay, Landorus. Let's just see if it's something that he would want to go for. Raikou. +1 Scald. Oh, that's definitely killing after rocks. Yeah. Okay. So sub Calm Mind Raikou could totally come, and that could totally be a reason that I want to bring Whimsicott, depending on the game plan here. We went over Empoleon. Avalugg, again, I don't really understand Avalugg here. I don't know why I would use it over Belly Bolt or over Terra Patch. I don't get it. Like, it's a spinner. I guess that's like the main thing, is it's a spinner, and that's actually our only method of removal on this team, which is kind of crazy. I just realized that now. So yeah, I guess if you're gonna bring a spinner and that spinner's Avalugg, you want to give it access to Terra so you can bring it more often. So that makes some sense, and we could totally end up spike stacking, or like as John, we could end up spike stacking here. So yeah, I could see a niche for Avalugg, but first things first, what is the plan for the Enamorous? Do we want to play a more defensive game? We bring a couple checks, like with the Terra, with one of the Terras and Empoleon, Or do you want to go a really offensive route and just with one check and just limit how many times it wants to come in? It is hard to limit it because it does have a favorable type matchup into a bunch of things, just base. Like, it does well into Samurott. It's immune to ground for Landorus. It's immune to one of Latios' stabs. It could also, I guess, Terra Steel for Petch and Latios. Like, it's hard to keep Enamorus out here. So this could be a tough one. How can I win this game? It's tough. Okay, so like one example of how Joey might want to Terra something else other than Pecharunt here is like, let's say we want to go for a more hazard stacking angle, and we would want to run Spidef Pecharunt for Tentacruel in some way, and that would help keep him from average spinning. We wouldn't want to Terra out of Ghost type, so we could either Terra Ghost, which I don't know how productive that is, or we can just keep Pecharunt the same type and then Terra the Belly Bolt. But I don't really know what I want to Terra the Belly Bolt here. I mean, we could make this an additional helpful type versus Enamorus, but if we have both Empoleon and Pecharunt, I don't know why I would feel the need to do that, you know? That's already so many resources just for Enamorus. But yeah, we do have decent resources for hazard, so we could want to go like that kind of hazard stacking mode here. Samurott doesn't really like get in super easily, so it would kind of be more of a, I guess he would get in on Dio, right? He would be a decent lead, I think. Maybe. It just wouldn't be good into Enamorus, which is a problem. But with Assault, I don't even know, like, if we go like really defensive Assault Vest, can we live like any Moonblast? I have no idea, because Samurott's I've seen Samurott with AV do some heinous shit, but let's see, like super defensive. Yeah, so like we can live a Specs Moonblast, we can't live a Specs Fairy Moonblast. It would be a bit unreliable, I guess. We also want it to be Choppel for like potential Dio sets, right? So this is a bad lead into Enamorus, which I don't really love, but like we do have checks to it. It's just that it can Terra, so we might actually not have a good check to it. John does love Terra Fairy. I don't think this is the matchup where he's going to run it though into Empoleon. I think he's going to at least try to and like Empoleon plus Patch, I think he's gonna at least try to counter it with the Terra. He could try to do that with just ground. That would be okay. Definitely good offensively. Defensively, it's not like perfect, but it's not horrible either. Like it would help with Malignant Chain. That's pretty much it. But it would do worse into Empoleon and worse into Samurott. So I don't know if he'll want to do that. It's already kind of tough to decide what he's going to do. I'm honestly not really sure how I want to take this yet. So like Val is definitely like really like a booster speed Swords Dance Val, if we can get the Swords Dance off, can literally just win. I think just by itself. So knowing that, we might want like screens, and then all we have to do after setting the screens is break the Pyappa on Tentacruel and the Choppel on Arch, and after that, oh, do we get Thunder Punch on Val? Iron, we definitely do. I just don't know if we want to fit that. So we would want, we definitely need CC for sure, because we need to be able to hit the Archaludon. We need, so like Thunder Punch would cover Tenta plus Enamorus base, and we could do that plus Spirit Break. That would kind of hit everything, right? We could do Thunder Punch, Spirit Break, SD with Booster Energy, and that would kind of hit everything, right? It would dance around the Payapa Berry Tentacruel, which is like the more obvious one generally, and it still hits everything. It can still kill everything after an SD, unless he runs like a super bulky Deoxys, which like we would just want to get some hazards down for that. So I think this set's good. It's just a very good win condition. We need to find ways to get the Swords Dance off still. It is not easy at all. Like we really might need a screen for that. The only one we could really get it off on here is Zarude. But even then, like a Power Whip into Mach Punch from Conkeldurr could just pick me off. Or a Sneak from Noir. We could go like bulky to try to deny that, because we do resist the Mach Punch though. So maybe we go like Reflect on something. Maybe we could just go like a Screens Belly Bolt maybe. Like it's not out of the question. Yeah, I'm not sure how we're gonna get this SD off yet. An SD would do it for sure. Or sorry, a screen would do it. What's still the ideal target if we get a screen out? We could never do it versus Enamorus, obviously. We could never do it versus Dio because he could just Psycho Boost me. Arch, we might be able to live like some Flash Cannon with Light Screen up. Conk, we could live with something with Reflect up. Pert with Reflect up, we're totally fine. Even without it, we might not be dead to anything. Zarude, we would kind of want to Reflect up. Would he run Flash Cannon on Arch here? Or would he run Heavy Slam? Because he likes running Heavy Slam, but I think Flash Cannon makes more sense. Just because of Val in general. So we would want the Light Screen for Flash Cannon. We would want Reflect for Conk / Zarude. Though I will say, it's probably more likely that he would go Arch than either of the other two, right? So we might want to prioritize the Light Screen. Light Screen would also help with Calm Mind Raikou. So there's that. So I think this Screen's Belly Bolt idea makes sense. Let's try it. Belly Bolt. We're gonna go Light Clay. Not Electromorphosis, right? We're gonna go Static. We don't care about that. Volt Switch, Reflect, and Light Screen, because there's two different situations here where we can do that. Do either one and then Volt Switch over to Val to get it. So that's an interesting concept. Is that the only way we can abuse screens here? Or is there more? I don't know. If this is the only way to abuse screens, then there's a chance that I just don't run Light Clay and I just try to set the screen and then dip out to Valiant instantly and get the Swords Dance in the late game. But I can't deny that screens in general would just help, as they usually do. We know that we need to get some kind of hazards up. I want to see how many rounds of hazards we need to kill like a defensive Deoxys. Deoxys speed, max HP, but we are a Iron Valiant. We're +2. Make sure that booster energy stays in speed though. And we are Spirit Break. Spirit Break. Okay. So that doesn't quite kill a max HP Deoxys. And if he's like really defensive, it would take even less. Like that's actually not that much. But this is still like a good game plan. It's just that's a little tough. Then in that case, is Spirit Break my best option? I mean, it kind of is, because I still need to be able to hit the Conkeldurr. Right? Is there also a chance he goes like Poison and Amorous? I don't know if that even matters. But like in that case, Knockoff would be a cool bit of coverage. Enamorous. Okay, so if he goes Poison, like he can just die after rocks. So honestly, I'm like not super worried about that. Thunder Punch does less than that, right? Yeah, it does. Yeah, CC can straight up just kill it if it goes Poison and Am, so I'm not really worried. It's really just being able to hit both the Conk and the Dio in a slot, but that doesn't really exist. And if we were to go Zen Headbutt to hit both Tentacruel and Conk, we both would be playing into Piapa Berry, which I think is more likely, or we would be like having move slot issues for Enamorous, because we would be CC Zen Headbutt, and then we have to cover both Dio and Enamorous in one slot. That's not actually possible. So I think this set makes sense. We just need to get a good bit of hazards up and be able to switch in multiple times versus Deoxys specifically, because that's the guy we want to chip down with hazards. So if he has to enter multiple times to make progress with that guy, that's the idea, so that eventually he'll be in range. So that Childberry Samurott makes some sense, I think. He might be a little difficult to use this game. Like it's really going to depend on what this Deoxys actually is. If we can't force it out early, then that could be a problem for late game. But like if Deoxys isn't getting forced out, then what's like forcing my Samurott out? I could just keep it for late game, right? So I wonder if that means I want like a Swords Dance, like late game, like a Samurott that has like late game potential, or do I want like a Belly Bolt that like can actually handle Dio, which I don't really know what that means. Really? I don't. Like, what would I even do? Go Terra Psychic? But I could play into Knockoff, which he could do for the Latios. Terra. Yeah, I don't know. It would be odd. It'd be weird, because Belly Bolt would realistically let the Deoxys get a lot. Like, he would just get loads of hazards, and of course the removal is Avalugg. And I don't really see myself wanting to bring Avalugg, with how good John's special pressure can be, especially with the rockers, like the two best rockers in Deoxys and Archilodon being specially oriented. Usually, like, Avalugg does not look very good. So I'm thinking maybe we could do some kind of like mid to late game Samurott, and we just don't mind if it comes out early either. but one that's like more equipped to not enter at all, maybe. What we know that we want though is we want Rocks up at some point, and that shouldn't be too hard to get with Empoleon, to be honest. Let's hold it on the Samurott real quick. I think Empoleon's pretty necessary, right? Like the Chople Empoleon idea. It's kind of necessary as a pivot into Enamorous, right? Where Stealth Rock is also a really important click to chip down the Dio. We don't really need to chip down the Arch. No, we do a little bit because of the idea of like Chocolberry Arch, right? So we do need spikes. So it does kind of suck that the only spikes that, well, it's good for us, but it does kind of suck. The only spikes that we get access to is on Samurott, and it might not be able to come out very early. It might, but also it might not. What that probably means though is that him spiking us is not as big of a problem, because that means we can get Samurott in and further our game plan. And then if he wants to switch into it with Conk and try to defog it, that's getting rid of his hazards too. So the main Dio that I'm worried about right now is late game. And that's like very worrying for me. So I'm going to communicate that to John too. We want to look for a late game Deoxys, because that really limits what Joey can do here. So yeah, because like if the Dio is coming in early, not only is it letting Samurott in early, but it's also like if it's just on the field taking damage, then we don't even need to chip it down with spikes anymore. We just kill it with that late game. So it's the main issue here is Archaludon. Like a Chocolberry Archaludon, how do we bait it out and do actual damage to it without forcing it out with like Landorus? You know? Ceaseless would do that. It's just like, Samurott is like so bad and so much here. It's like I don't want to create situations where like if I'm winning harder. I want to be able to actually fight through any position. So it's a little tough. If we get like a single spike though, we can just keep him up forever with Petch. And we also even have, I mean, that's not really real. We do have competitive Empo to like block Defog, but or not block it, but take advantage of Defog. But the Defogger is Conk, so that's like never a safe play. So, geez, how do we make this Samurott more useful? This is tough, bro. I'm not sure. It's really that, or we try to make a set that like makes sure that the Arch has to come out and take damage, or they're gonna like lose a lot of resources. And we could try to accomplish that with like Pecharunt. I think that kind of makes sense. I think that makes a lot of sense, actually. What kind of set would that be, though? Like, we could just do plot, but again, we're dead to Dio. So we could do like Pileberry, but I don't know, bro. that's pretty sus. Zarude can't hit us like too super hard because we got 1 billion defense, and we can Malignant Chain it. So that guy's not really a real answer. If I were to remove the Arch from what I'm looking at here, what would do the best into this team? Like, there's an option for Fairy, right? Just like Spadef-ish Fairy. But I think Tentacruel would beat that, and that's kind of a problem. Like, legitimately a problem. Ghost, but that already beats the Arch. Like, we would just lose just as hard to Zarude, but we would do worse into Enamorus too. Well, maybe not worse, but we would not resist Moonblast, so we wouldn't be a pivot anymore. But I could see like Spadef, Terra Ghost, like plot. I could see that actually doing something. Or something like that. The good thing about Patch actually is that it outspeeds Arch, like no matter what. Which, that's actually kind of huge. Jeez, man. This, honestly, like, I think our team, like, John's team is, like, so strong. We've just been kind of getting weirded out in the prep phase, and that's like where we start losing. Like I think every matchup versus team, I'm like, holy shit, I can't like actually do much. This time it's not really the same because I do have the Val that can realistically win pretty easily, but like, how do I force these situations to actually go my way here? Because like I don't. What Terra type would you bring here to like beat everything other than Arch, or like attempt at that? I don't know. I have no idea. Because Dio is a problem, and then like Tenta is a problem. Zarude also can outspeed and kill, especially if we're especially defensive. I don't know, man. What do you do? I don't know, bro. Like, does Terra Steel work? I feel like it kind of doesn't. Because Conk is just doing too much damage to me. Oh shit. I mean, even Pert is like kind of an issue for that. Jeez, I'm like already kind of stuck, bro. Dude. Alright, maybe we do some box method. Huh? Let's see. What do we think needs to come here? Oh my god, my computer. Okay. We need to see the Deoxys. We need to see the Enamorus. I don't know what kind, but we need to see it. We need to see the Archaludon or the Chop Berry. We gotta see... So the Zarude's pretty cool. Without it, he doesn't have like a great swap into Psychic move from Latios, right? Because then he would have to take it on one of those two Pokemon that I'm talking about. So he kind of needs Zarude. It's also his only other ground resist. And it does outspeed the Landorus, so it actually has a lot of use there. Zarude, I think we do want to see the Raikou come because that set, that sub-common set could be really strong. And then, do you want to see Tentacruel for the spin? Or Conk? It looks like there's not going to be a Swampert coming, I'm not going to lie. Which, like, to be fair, I don't... Maybe Swampert does have to come for the Belly Bolt? But then, like, what drops, you know? This is weird. This is a weird matchup for sure. It's very odd. Conk looks mid. I think you shouldn't want to gun for it. It's not like bad, but it does have problems. Like Petrodon does kind of stonewall it a little bit. And it can hex a Flame Orb set if you try to break through it. So that's like pretty annoying. And it gets beaten by Valiant. So a Conk's main use here would be to beat the Samurott, and you have a Zarude that can do that too. So you might want to bench the Conk. Surely you would bring Raikou in such a strong Raikou matchup, right? Like, surely. I feel like that just makes sense. You would kind of want Tentacruel last, right? Because that would be able to answer the Whimsicott. And you definitely want it versus Val. What am I saying, right? So, like, do you ever bring Pert here? Over these 6? Like, the most replaceable, I think, is the Raikou, right? You can't get rid of Zarude because you need a one of Conk or Zarude to deal with the Samurott. And it can't just be Arch. Because Arch is way too important defensively for other things. Well, I don't know. You might not think that because, like, you would want to just, like, deal with the Samurott and then, like, the Val could like CC you, but honestly, like, Chople Arch is the most important roadblock to kill for me for the Valiant. So I think you should still have Zarude for Samurott, like, for sure. It's one of Zarude or Conk. I think the Pert actually never comes. I'm not gonna lie. It makes Belly Bolt better, but you can attempt to take advantage of Belly Bolt with Stamina Arch, because that does become hard to kill. So if I'm looking at no ground, no fighting, maybe Terra Steel does make sense on the Pecharon, right? And then if the Zarude doesn't come and the Conk does instead, I just don't Terra. I think that makes a lot of sense, actually. Let's go Terra Steel on this. And let's just not, like, plan to Terra it. Let's just see what happens in the game. And then, like, Terra Steel can cover for Dio. Okay. So this is an idea. Where we run Terra Steel, Nasty Plot, and try to bait the Arch out. Like, Body Press Arch. To try to, like, 1v1. Or even with like, Aura Sphere. Try to 1v1 this. And then whether or not it fails to do so, it will open up the Valiant. Nasty Plot, definitely. Do you want just Hex Malignant? Or we probably want Shadow Ball, right? Because otherwise we can't really hit the Arch as well. So Shadow Ball, Malignant for sure, right? And then Recover. I think that makes sense. And then yeah, if we see the Conkeldurr, we just don't Terra, and then we can, after one knockoff, just recover everything else off. So that's okay. It's an idea. Because if the Pert's not there, and we're like a Spadef-ish Pecharon, I don't really know how else he's going to try to break it. I don't really know. So that could be like a legitimate, like, forcing guy here. We got the Belly Bolt. The Belly Bolt, do we want to be something else other than, like, I don't know. Okay, so we're forcing the Arch out early. We're trying to force the Arch out early with this Pecharon. I think that works, right? Am I tweaking? I think this works. So yeah, we still need to actually get the Dio to die to get into range to get spikes chipped. So I think we probably need the Empoleon because we don't want Petch to be the initial switch into an Amorous. I think we need the Empoleon. So we have some kind of answer to the Enamorous, to the Dio, kind of, with this Terra Steel Petron idea. Because it can try to use Dio as fodder. For sure. Zarude is a big problem. We can't really swap into it. We can if we have like the right investment / Terra type on Belly Bolt, like Terra Fairy, maybe. That would make sense. Terra Fairy would also like potentially invite in the Archaidon, and then that means we're getting like Volt Switch chip, Terra Blast chip, whatever. I think. Oh, but we can't fit both Slack Off and Terra Blast if we're going both screens, right? So that's a bit of an issue. We could just go. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue. Because I do really want Slack Off, but these screens are also nice. What's the more realistic situation versus Belly Bolt? I guess if we're a Fairy Belly Bolt, then he wouldn't want to go Zarude. He would be more likely to go a special attacker, I think. So we would want just Light Screen. And then, yeah. So we would want Terra Blast. Maybe we don't even want the Light Clay, because I don't really know if we need it. And then Slack Off. And that's like, okay, this is decent. Yeah. So we need... So this would help with making an answer to Zarude. We can go like a physically defensive set, and with the Light Screen, we're hard to break in general. And then we can Terra Blast the Zarude, and we can Volt Switch on pretty much anything else. And after we get Light Screen up, like let's say he goes into the Arch, we could Terra Blast it for chip, or if he's in range, we can Volt Switch out, get into Val, Swords Dance behind Light Screen, and try to win the game. I think that's pretty reasonable. Volt Switch also just generally keeps out Tentacruel, which means that Val might get more opportunities. So that's pretty cool. So we kind of have a Zarude answer, kind of. We kind of have a way of baiting Arch, kind of. It's really dependent on the situation. It's really weird. I think in order to actually have a way of killing the Arch, we probably want to have the Landorus in the back, maybe with a Posho Berry for the Raikou, and then last slot we could consider Whimsicott, but then we're not fitting Latios. So Latios actually looks good here. I think not fitting Latios is actually a huge waste. Interesting. So like, I don't know. Latios is good offensively. Landers is good offensively. Whimsicott's helpful for two important threats defensively. Is there a way one of these two don't come? Because they're not like targeted toward anything like specific, really. I think one of them's got to come for sure, because he really wants one of his Terra Captains to come. They can both accomplish some really good stuff here. I think the Belly Bolt's more like necessary, right? I think it actually is. I think the Belly Bolt like set is more necessary. This is kind of just loose and like just an idea. honestly, like, I think like a Terra Fairy Belly Bolt would get more opportunity to get chip off on the arch than the Petron would. I don't even know if this like baits like ever baits an arch, to be honest. This is just like a potentially good idea, but I don't even know if it's better than this. Like, this just synergizes with the Val very nicely. So I might want to. Is benching the Petch stupid? It means I'm not relying on, like, I mean, I'm not relying on spikes anyway. I would just want to get rocks up and then have the Dio come in multiple times. Let's bench the Petch for now. And we go Latios, Landorus, Whimsicott. I think this is a pretty valid 6. I don't have like a huge plan for these two, but they are very good at breaking, and I think I will need the Landorus to be able to actually come in and break the arch down. And I'll also probably want him for the Raikou in some capacity, even though I will have Whimsicott. The Latios is the big question mark, but holy shit, look at Draco Meteor plug. Just look at stabs. Like, it's so insane. I'm just not sure how we will make it work. But, like, the big thing about Latios is that it could actually threaten a kill, like an outspeed and KO on the Enamorous. Whimsicott can't really do that. We totally want Whimsicott. I think Whimsicott with Encore is actually so insanely important here. We need Moonblast for the Zarude too, and also just for general damage into the team. We'll hold off on the other stuff. You need Stealth Rock. Do I want you to be Pasha Berry? Or is that not useful? I think, okay, we definitely want you to be Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Grass Knot, because this literally hits everything. Just the big thing is last slot and item. I don't really know what I want to do with it yet. There's like, we can consider AV. We can consider Pasho. We can consider, I think Pasho's not really as relevant though, because we outspeed and destroy the two water types, and like Raikou, we could just live that with an Assault Vest anyway. We can go like U-turn last, which is somewhat valid. Though, when would I ever want to click U-turn over just an attack? Right? I don't know. We could just go like Psychic and try to completely destroy that conch, maybe. I don't know. U-turn's like reasonable. Is there anything that this just doesn't hit? Just typing wise in general, because like let's say it's some kind of Terra and Amorous. Let me see. I don't know. Would you go Flying and M? Like, would I go Rock Slide just to cover for Flying / Bug and Amorous? Like, is that even real? Probably not, right? But you never know. I'm not sure what I'm like. I don't know. Okay, we can hit everything. Like, realistically, we can hit everything. I don't really know what more value I would get out of a move slot here, and I do want to figure that out. So one idea is, like, if we packed sub, we can be able to react to Enamorous coming in, but I don't know, that's feels a bit silly when we can just fucking, like, he could just stay in and then break our sub, and then we're just in the same situation with less health. If there was a move that could cover both Enamorous and Arch, then that would be great. But the reason that I wanted him to draft like this is because there literally isn't one, and it's not even close. Like, it defensively covers it like really well. So this is kind of why I wanted him to draft like this. So this is a pretty cool thing. We literally cannot have a single move slot that would cover both Arch and Enamorous unless we try to click substitute and call it out. But, like, that's it. No real other option. We don't get rock polish anymore. What can I do to cover that interaction? Like, there's literally nothing other than substitute, which really sucks. Because that means that not only am I, like, potentially using up HP for nothing, but I can't run Assault Vest. And that's kind of what I wanted to do. So now what? I don't know. I still can do sub and do like Paw Show or whatever. Is that worth it? It could be worth it. I think sub actually is what I want to do. Yeah, probably. I'll do sub. I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't think I want to bother with Life Orb. I think I just want to do like Pasho and give me some like defensive use. Yeah, right. Just Pasha Berry or Citrus maybe. But I think just the fact that we can live a +1 Scald, because realistically, like, if we get it wrong at some point, we do want to have a way out, and doing this much damage to the Raikou could be the way out. Getting it in range of Whimsicott, which outspeeds it by 1, which is another reason why Whimsicott's like honestly really nice here. So yeah, I think Pasha's fine. I could be silly, but it's fine. Latios. So Latios' big thing here is being like a powerful attacker that outspeeds Enamorous, so that we can actually have a way of threatening and outspeed and KO with that, like, without using Valiant. Because especially if the Enamorous isn't Terra'd or is Stellar Terra, we can't actually revenge it with Val. I guess we can with Thunder Punch, right? Or Thunder Punch. Yeah, but we don't want to do that. We don't want to waste it. So if we get like a slow Volt or something, like a slow Flip with Empoleon, maybe, we want to be able to pick it off with Latios. So I think we definitely want Draco, but we might not want to like click that all the time, because like, let's say we Draco something and kill it, and then the Enamorous comes in, then what do? We have to go Empoleon, I guess, and then slow flip again. I mean, that's something. That's something. But yeah, Draco. We definitely want Luster Purge, right? We probably want Ice Beam. Does that KO Enamorous ever? Adios. We don't have it Terra Poison. So Luster Purge. Luster Purge. Would not kill. Ice Beam. So that's Soul Dew boosted too, so it wouldn't kill. And then Ice Beam does only a little bit more than Soul Dew Luster Purge. So we can instead do Life Orb, and that would secure that kill. Yes, it would. So Life Orb Latios looking okay. We did want to like consider Colberberry too. But I think this Oko is actually really important. And then like if he tears into anything else other than Steel, we can just Draco it. So Terra Fairy and Steel are the problematic things for that. Not like super problematic because we can still like nuke it for most of its HP either way. But yeah, Terra Fairy I'm not really worried about because I have the Empoleon, right? Maybe I'm still a little bit worried, but Empoleon's mainly there for Enamorus, so maybe not like super worried. I think I will go Chopple on you. Right? And then I think Life Orb makes sense. And then for the Steel Enamorus, like surely you wouldn't run that into Val though, right? You honestly, you still could. That would be very annoying. We could run Aura Sphere for that, and that would cover it. Ice Beam and Aura Sphere. Does this make sense? Is this a set that makes sense? Ice Beam, Aura Sphere. It kind of does, right? We don't get like Energy Ball for the perk, but like I don't even think perk's coming. I think this makes some sense, right? And like in general, I'm like not really as worried about a Scarf Enamorus because it will have no damage booster or move selection for the Empoleon, and then I also have a Belly Bolt. I could take 2 hits probably. I'll surely EV it to take 2. So I think this makes sense. I think this is like a sensible kind of way of building this. I hope it's good enough. So what's the deal with Dio here? Can I beat that?
Well, the good thing is that with the Choppleberry Empo, I can come in on Dio and set rocks pretty easily. And like he could try to taunt me, but
If he gets it wrong and I get chip off with like Flash Cannon or whatever, like I'm still getting the chip that I wanted versus Dio anyway. Dio's still annoying though. Yeah, we kind of really want 7 Mons here, because if I would replace anything with something, it would be the like Assault Vested or Choppleberry Samurott, but what can I even replace here? I actually have no idea. Because I need Valiant to actually win the game. I need Belly Bolt to actually set up for that, and it also is currently covering like early game Zarude and early game Raikou. I guess Belly Bolt could really assist with the Deoxys too. I don't know, it's like so risky. This kind of prep is so risky. But yeah, like Belly Bolt is helping with so much right now. And like even if I wanted to change the Belly Bolt in some way, it would just be a Terra type to help with Dio, but that like barely even exists, dude. But yeah, Empoleon can like with Chapel Berry can kind of deal with Dio, but it's also super important for the Enamorous. I need Latios so that I can actually outspeed and KO the Enamorous, or outspeed and KO the Zarude. I need Landorus so I can actually come in and threaten the Archelidon, and I need Whimsicott for Zarude and Raikou security. So I'm kind of locked in with these 6 here. I don't really know what else I can do to fit a Samurott Hisui on this, or a different Terra type even on the Belly Bolt, because I don't know what else helps. Like there's no actual Terra type that helps with Deoxys, because like Psychic plus Dark plus Fighting hits everything. Like, it hits everything neutrally, and like what are even the Psychic resists other than Psychic, because that's not real. It would be Dark, which is weak to Fighting. It would be Psychic, which is weak to Dark, and then yeah, like I don't have much else. Steel is weak to Fighting. Like I don't have anything. So we just kind of need to pick a neutral type and pray that we're bulky enough, which I think we can be, but it's risky. So Stealth Rock, we definitely want Flip Turn on this. Otherwise, we're just going to be locked into a bad game state. I mean, Flip gets us out of a lot of good situations. Flash Cannon, we probably want Flash Cannon, right? For like 1v1ing Enamorous if we have to. We get Steel Beam. We get Vac Wave, that's kind of cool. Flash Cannon. Surely we want that to hit the Enamorous, right? We wouldn't just want to get walled. Especially if it's a Scarf Enamorous, we kind of need that, right? So, and then Roost. I mean, I think Empoleon's garbage, but this is like the best I can do. I don't know. I can't really bother trying to find a way to hit the Archelidon. Like, I'm not going to make much progress there. Like, I get Vac Wave, that's it. I would much prefer just clicking Preemptive Flip Turn like 3 million times and then fucking praying. Or even just like slow Flip Turning out with the Chapel Berry. I don't think I can do much better than that, honestly. I think I do like competitive here over Torrent, just because of the possibility of like Moonblast drops and Liquidation drop, whatever, like Defogs. I think it's better. Shadow Ball drops, I don't know, from like Deoxys. I think that is better. It has a higher reward. The Belly Bolt item. I think it probably has to be Boots, because otherwise I think my defenses aren't going to hold up. And for the Whimsicott, do I also have to be Boots, or can I be something else, like Citrus or Rocky Helmet for the Zarude? Though I will say the idea is that we are slow pivoting with Belly Bolt through the Zarude. But we can also go hard Whimsicott, but that's like more so. Oh wait, I can't even. You know, I might actually have to go Infiltrator, because I can't Encore Zarude with Prankster, and I already outspeed the Raikou and intend to invest to outspeed the Raikou. So I might actually just need Infiltrator just to make sure I can Encore that Zarude. And also that means that my Moonblast can go through sub, which is something. So Tentacruel is a problem for this guy. I don't really get much to deal with it. Like, I can Psychic it, but that's kind of not real. I could also try to Light Screen with this guy, but if Tentacruel's in, I mean, this is not a great way to Light Screen, because if Tentacruel's in, then like, the fuck, I'm not going to Valiant, you know? I would much rather U-turn and get like Latios or Landorus in on this guy. So on Tentacruel. So I think U-turn's good. Last move. What else can help me here? I kind of mainly just need him for the Encore. I can also Stun Spore. Stun Spore actually sounds good. Oh wait, no, this is not Prankster, so it's like only okay. Because it doesn't outspeed the Deoxys with anything. This is... Bro. I can't really do much versus the Dio. Like, I would just kind of have to switch. He doesn't take Moonblast great. Encore. I mean, I could do Encore plus Taunt, I guess. I can also just pack a Grass move for Swampert, but again, I don't really think Swampert's coming. I'd rather U-turn on Tentacruel every time. Leech Seed doesn't do well until like Liquid Ooze Tenta, but I think he would go Clear Body. I think we go Clear Body for the Parting Shot Petch. So maybe I'm okay with Leech Seed here, because it is a little bit annoying for him. Leech Seed is like the only thing I can see me getting value out of, I think. Memento, just like, if we're really expecting the Clear Body Tenta, Memento is completely useless, and also does horribly into Contrarian M, so it's not really an option for me. Anything better than Leech Seed, bro? Like, I could go Light Screen again, but again, I don't think that's as helpful as Belly Bolt having it. Yeah, I think I'll just go Leech Seed. I think I'll just go Leech Seed and see if I can be annoying that way versus like Arch and stuff. Because that could like lead me to like get annoying pivots into stuff while staying healthy enough to get out of range and then heal it off, right? Yeah, I think that's okay. I don't think Grass Move is as important as something like that. I think. Let's try this, and then we can go Boots again, or we can go Citrus. We can go something. I think I want Boots. Let's just go Boots. Play it safe, because I don't have any removal on this team, and I need to be able to come in multiple times for the Encore. Okay, so this is the 6. Honestly, this is probably one of the worst jobs that I've done. I don't think this is like bad by any means, but this wasn't like as intricate of a game plan as I usually do. I think maybe it'll just work out just because we have an Iron Valiant, but yeah, I haven't really been able to think of anything else. So let me do some calcs now. So for the Valiant, I don't think I care about what's it, Scarf Raikou. Like, I don't think that's real. I think if you're gonna bring Raikou and it's not Calm Mind in some way, that's bad. I don't think you want to Scarf into Landorus, because Landorus is really offensively threatening. It puts you in really bad spots. So, and also like you just don't outspeed Valiant. So I don't know. I don't really care about Scarf that. So I might not creep it, but then of course if he does bring Scarf, then you know, it could actually outspeed me. But the bulk could actually be like super important here. So I think I'm willing to take that risk. We do need Jolly. The offenses are really important though, so I might not bother with this risk. Like I might just do this. The offenses are so important. We are Spirit Break and we are Thunder Punch. Yeah. So let's just see calcs. Thunder Punch. He's actually killing after rocks with so much investment. Dude, this is like so. This is so irreplaceable. These EVs. If the Enamorus wants to stay outspeeding Landorus, it can't fit much bulk. It would have this much bulk. And then if you put the rest in defense, yeah, okay. If you put the rest in HP though, yeah, like it's a roll. This is not correct. This is correct. Boom. So this is let's say Stealth Rocks are up 87.5. Okay, so let's just do 248. If Val dies through the screen, it dies through the screen, bro. I don't know what to say. we kind of need this damage, just in case. And so we need to go 359 at least to get that speed boost. Is that more important than just creeping the Raikou? I don't think it is. I think I'm just gonna creep the Raikou and rest in Spit F. Belly Bolt. We want to take 2 from a lot of things. Let's see. Belly Bolt. This guy's really bulky, so I think we can make it work. Deoxys Speed. Let's say you're a Life Orb. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, guys, if this is like a viewing hell because my computer is like shitting itself constantly. But I can't control it. Modest, Psycho Boost, and let's say there's 2 of them coming at me. And I do have the boots, so no chance of like hazard chip. We can go. If I can keep this bold, I would want to. Okay, it would be like so much investment, but I think it's worth it. Okay, if we go max bid F. Okay, we're gonna go 236. 236. Go max fucking Spit F. Calm. Rest in defense. And that's the spread. We can't really afford much else. We could do anti-creep, but I just don't think it's worth it. I don't think I want to bother with that. We need to be able to live two Psycho Boosts for sure. So, it is what it is. Empoleon. Let's see. Empoleon. And we are Choppleberry. Oh my god, please. Please work. Chopple. Thank you. So we will take 2 of those. Superpower. If we see 2 superpowers, this is modest, but I think you would more likely go like let's just say Rash, and then I don't think he would run that much attack invest. Okay, well this isn't even max HP, so that's good. What if he does run attack invest? Okay, definitely want some defense invest then. Okay, that's a good bit, but we can put the rest into Spit F, so honestly I'm not pressed about it. Okay, 248, 120 in the physical bulk. 120. We don't really care about speed again. How much does Enamorous do to us? Enamorous. That's so much speed, bro. Chill. Okay, that's 2 Earth Powers. What about just 1 + 1 Earth Power? How about that? Once. +1. You would never underspeed. What's it? Landers is here. You just never would. So let's do Calm. And that's a +1 Earth Power. Okay, that's honestly like what we need already, because we just want to live it after a spike. Can we do it after a spike and a rock, maybe? I don't know, bro. 1 spike, 1 rock. Okay. Because I think that's honestly like a little bit valid, because the Dio could just try to spike, stack all over the place. Oh my god. This is the most annoying part of the calc, is when the text is just long enough that it keeps like shifting where you want to click your mouse every time. Oh shit. Okay, 72 Calm. And then rest and special attack. That's fine. We can actually even put a little in speed just to do some anti-creep. I wouldn't want to underspeed like Conk. I think that's fine. You wouldn't really go faster than that, right? I don't think so. Latios. We want to outspeed the Enamorous for sure, which is 342, so 343. And I want to see some of these calcs, because the bulk could be helpful. We'll see. Life Orb. Okay. We are Ice Beam. Please, dear Lord. And Luster Purge. Okay. Yeah, Ice Beam just kills. If it goes the 40 HP, that could be that it can fit. We still kill it. We decrease it. Decrease our investment, because the extra doesn't really matter past that. But maybe a wolf or something else. So 208 special attack for now. Let's see. Deoxys. Deoxys speed. Draco Meteor is easily killing that. What about okay. That's a very likely kill. I don't think I want to obsess over that, because he could run more bulk, he could do whatever the fuck. I'll just take this. Archaludon. This one, and let's say max HP. Very likely kill. He can run more bulk. This is fine by me. What about Zarude? Okay, Draco's doing more Ice Beam, but Draco is killing after 2 rounds of rocks. I think I'm okay with 208 special attack. No real reason to obsess over more than that. 208. Come on. Oh my god. 208. And rest in bulk, which could come in handy. We'll see. Landorus, you want to outspeed Tenta. I don't think Tenta would go max. It would want to outspeed the Petch at least. Which, like, he could expect to go max speed because he has an arch. We obviously don't have that on the paste. So he would go 303 for that. Doesn't Petcheron hit that? 302 with max. Timid. Yeah, so we want to go 304 to creep that. 304 max special attack. Boom. And we do want to go an odd HP, because that will give us more substitutes in theory. And leftover and Spadef. Fuck it. I think we do want all the special attack we can get. We can calc the Raikou Scalds. We go Landorus. That's Scald. If we are Posho Berry and he clicks Scald twice, we can die. What about the HP invest that we have? Okay, 96 perfectly hits that. So, lucky me. I'm not gonna obsess more about it. And then Whimsicott, you need to just chill out. I don't know. I'm just gonna go timid. We definitely want to go max speed because if this thing is underspeeding the Raikou, I'm fucked. So I do need to creep this. I could. Yeah, I need to creep it. Let's calc the Moonblast and then just put the rest in bulk. How about that? We got. Well, let's just put Whimsicott here because this is actually relevant into you. What is it? Oh, over 2 turns. Okay. Yeah, I don't care about this. Moonblast with no investment does do a quarter. That's kind of what I needed to do, I guess. That's really sad, actually, but whatever, man. I can't do more damage than that. And I have the Encore for sub, so he can't really set up on me. And I'm like kind of okay with trading down this damage. It doesn't do much back to me if I'm max HP, so it's fine. And then Zarude. I might not even do half with a Moonblast. Yeah, okay, so if it's like bulky, I can't, but I would want to get a 2-hit KO here. If he's running offensive Zarude, which is what this thing is mainly catered for, let's see. Well, you can do this, and we can make this Moonblast to a KO with not much investment. Okay, 24. Perfect. Nice. 236 HP. Let's just... Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Okay. So that's a team that I'm going to be bringing to John's mock. I hope this is good enough. There's no Petron on it, but the rest is pretty normal. I don't know. Petch is like fine. It's fine. But it has problems. Dio being able to just snipe it out of the sky is really bad for it, so it kind of like has to Terra, but then Bellybolt also really wants to Terra, and it's probably a little bit better at it because of what it provides to Valiant. Yeah, and there's not even like spikes that we're setting up, and Samurott has its own issues, so I think it's reasonable that we're not bringing it. I mean, I think I'm pulling on the dog shit Pokemon, but this is the matchup you bring it to, an Amorous, right? Yeah, I think this is fine. I think what we did is fine. I hope this is good enough for the mock. This is probably the least confident I've been in a mock build for this channel, but I don't know. We'll see how it works out. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next portion. Peace. Okay, we're back. And he brought... Is this the exact 6 I expected? It actually might be. Yeah, it is. This is the exact 6 I expected. I said Tentacruel. Okay. I'm not super confident. Alright, let's get into it. Sorry. Distracted. Anyway. I didn't actually plan a lead for this. The Enamorous is flying. That was one of the things, remember, it was one of the things I was thinking about covering for, and that's why we're Thunder Punch. So that's pretty cool. We kind of wanted to lead Empoleon, I think. Or do we want to lead Bellybolt? I don't remember. Belly Bolt's pretty safe, I will say. We want to get our rocks up for sure. It's one of, I think it's one of these two. I think I'm gonna say it's Empoleon here. Oh, we could get fucked by T-Spikes, actually. That's kind of crazy. I didn't actually prep for that at all. Well, not really. No, I'm actually kind of fine, actually. I think it's just Belly Bolt. I'm not sure which one I like more. Let's say Belly Bolt. Belly Bolt into Zarude. Okay. This is good then. This is actually better in that case. We can Terra Fairy here and pretty freely go for a Terra Blast, I think. We are Spadaf, but unless he's like banded, we should be fine. And either way, getting a Terra Blast off will be good. So let's do it. Goes Raikou. That's pretty fair. That's Assault Vest. Okay. I don't really care about that. I can just light screen, I think, and be fine. Scalds, yeah, that's fair. Okay. 15 is crazy. Okay. And we also did get it right. We did expect no Swampert, so this Belly Bolt's really annoying for him. We're just gonna Volt Switch. For sure. Yeah, that's actually crazy that it did that little. Didn't I EV this, like, normally? Yeah, no, okay, I just needed it for something. Scald. Nice. Volt Switch. So what he kind of did is allowed me to go Landorus, which is a little bit rough for him. So I don't love that he allowed me to do that. I could also go Latios, but I think Landorus is just better here. Yeah, so this Scald is going to do nothing. Especially because I'm Pasho Berry. I could even over predict if I can predict if I want to. Like I can Sludge Wave into potential like Zarude. I think I will try to do that. Yeah, okay. Sludge Wave into Zarude. Okay, is that also AV? Or is that just like really specially defensive? That could be really specially defensive. I'm not really sure what it is. But what we can do is go Whimsicott, I think, and just U-turn. Knock off. Okay. That's Assault Vested, I think. Like, surely, right? We're just going to U-turn here. For sure. Okay, I think this is Assault Vest. So he's got double AV. No helmet here. We can kind of just go Latios, right? We could even go Landorus. And I think if we go Landorus, we're going to actually Earth Power this time. But Latios is also good. I think I prefer, while the Zarude is doing stuff, I think I prefer Landorus. We just Earth Power this time. And then the next time, we could Sludge Wave and call the Zarude, try to kill it. Because we know that the Sludge Wave won't kill. Even if he's... I guess he could be Ice Beam. Okay. Well, we called that correctly. That's not going to kill because we're not Life Orb. But we can just kind of take this with the Pasho Berry and launch a Sludge Wave here for the kill. So that's perfectly fine. Pasho, no burn? Nice. Okay. Interesting. Dio speed in. So this is good for me and bad because I don't really have a great check. If he's Life Orb Psycho Boost, I will blow up. Like, Belly Bolt will blow up. I think I just go Empoleon though. That's fine. Spikes, yeah, fair. I am double boots, two levitate guys, so I don't really. Oh, and I'm not. Yeah, I am double. Oh, and no, I got knocked off. Okay, yeah, fair. Okay. I'm gonna get my own rocks up. I think that's pretty valuable. He's gonna get all of his spikes up. Okay. And I'm just going to flash cannon once, because he's gonna get his third. Okay, he went for 2 spikes. That's really interesting. I feel like he shouldn't be doing that. Going for 2 spikes is really weird. So he's gonna spin these away, and I get to slow flip. I can go belly bolt. I feel like I shouldn't. I could just go Latios here, and realistically he can't kill me, so I'm just gonna get huge damage off on something. I can just Draco. I could also Luster Purge. I feel like, so this is Assault Vest. It's Zarude. Sludge Wave did like very little from Lando on the Zarude. He's Assault Vested, but I think he's offensive. I don't think he's all this. He could be max HP. It's possible. Latios could kill with Draco from here. Could. How much does it do to this Tentacruel? We did 15 with a crit. Draco's probably not gonna. Oh, it actually probably will kill. I'm just gonna Draco then. Okay. Nice. Good call, I guess. Alright. This is going well for me, but that's not a good thing. He has two spikes is not good enough. Though I will like, it's good that he is still full HP. This is threatening for sure. We got rid of Zarude and Raikou. I think we don't need Whimsicott anymore. So I'm gonna go Whimsicott. Earth Power. Okay, we got the call right. I didn't even mean to do that, but yeah, that's pretty cool. We can just Leech Seed, I guess. Be a little bit of an ass. Yeah, he's definitely clear body. We can. So he probably wants to spin or flip here. I don't really want to switch. I don't really care. I'm just gonna Moonblast and sack myself. I don't want to take like extra chip and shit. Get a little bit more chip on this Tentacruel. I'm Leech Seed because you should be clear body. Okay, so he might not have a poison move or something, but it doesn't really matter. I can't do anything to him, so he gets like whatever free momentum really means. But yeah, he's scared of Prankster Stun Spore, which is very fair. The thing is, this is actually really good damage for me if he lets me get this. Okay, he's Scarf. That's pretty cool. But that does mean some bad things later. That really means some terrible things later for him versus Booster Val. And Scarf Flash Cannon does not even come close to killing Landorus. So I could go Landorus here. I can also play it slower and go Empoleon, but I kind of want to limit my Spikes chip. So I think I am just going to go Landorus here. And I can just click Earth Power, I think. I'm not really like... I guess I shouldn't have done this. I should have gone Empo, I think. Yeah, I should have gone Empo. That's my bad. I'm just gonna Earth Power. I don't think he can really risk his Enamorus, but he might have to. Okay, he does, yeah. Good play, good play. So Terra Blast flying? I wonder if he's Specs. He could totally be Specs, right? If he's timid. So yeah, Terra Blast Flying won't really kill me unless he's Choice Specs, which I think he definitely can be. I can just go Empoleon, I think. Terra Flying, Terra Blast, yeah. Let's calc that. That is not quite Specs. Ooh, it's not Specs. How much does Earth Power do if it's not Specs? I think it does under half. I think I'm just gonna roost this off. Okay. That's fine. We get to slow flip here. Or we can Rocks. Rocks could be good. Rocks could definitely be good. We don't need it for Arch anymore. We just need these two out of the way. Yeah, I'm just gonna Rocks. I think that's fine. Yeah, get rid of my Chople. I don't really care. I'm gonna flip. That's fine. We get Latios in again. And this time there's no Zarude, so now we get to Luster Purge. And he can't really do anything about it. He can take chip on his Dio, but that's good for me. He can take chip on his Arch. Okay, he chooses to knock off, which is fair. Goodbye. So the moment we get an SD off, if we can get it, we would be able to get it versus Arch, I think, after a light screen. Okay. Nice, John. Yeah, so if he kills me with Dragon move, I win. So he can't kill me with Arcalion. So that's a problem for him. So yeah, if he goes Arcalion, I'm just gonna stay in and sack, because if he kills me with a Dragon move, then I just win the game with Valiant, and the game's like over. Maybe it's not because of Dio is still at full, but okay, he goes Dio. Do I die to anything? I feel like I'm not going to, because I don't have my item for knockoff anymore. I feel like I'm not gonna die. I also don't really need this anymore, so I'm just gonna Draco. He spikes. Okay, so he's Sash. Okay. So that is fair, but I think I win. Just gonna Ice Beam. Oh, he kills me. Oh, he crits me. Okay. I think that matters, but I don't care. Yeah, I don't really care. I'm just gonna go Belly Bolt in Light Screen, I think. And I think I win. I don't know what he can do to stop this. Yeah, just gonna Light Screen. Okay, gonna slack off. Because this guy kind of wins the game by himself too. Okay. So if he locks, he could lock Flash Cannon. How much does Flash Cannon do to Valiant? It shouldn't kill after the spikes. It sometimes can. We could also just go for a we could go for a non SD win here too. So let's just Volt Switch. Do we Terra Blast once? I think we do, right? I think that's better, actually. I think it's way better. Terra Blast once, yeah. Flash Cannon, that's fine. One Terra Blast. Sorry, everything is in range, I think. We slack off. Okay. Just Terra Blast, I think. He goes for the freeze, yeah. Yeah, I think I will win. What's the cleanest way of getting this done? I'm just gonna go Empo, I think. Because I don't think he's choiced on the Enamorous. So, you go Empo, he Steel Beams, yeah, fair. He's Scarfed into it, so what I can do is just set Rocks. And now he's dead to Thunder Punch. Oh, okay. He's Boots. Yeah, that makes sense too. Okay. That's pretty cool, but I am Boots on Belly Bolt, so I think it's still wrapped up. Volt Switch doesn't quite kill, so I'm going to click Light Screen. Yep. And I'm going to slack once. We're going to Volt. And now Tailwind's over. GG. Okay, so that did work out for me. He did make his team pretty quickly, but yeah, so I kind of know what he should be doing here, so I think this isn't like so bad. I don't like the Scarf Arch. It doesn't really help. The Zarude is probably fine. I like AV did make my life a little bit harder. I don't like AV Raikou though. I think that's bad. The Tenna is Boots. That's probably fine. This is an interesting Enamorous. I didn't really know what kind of Enamorous he should bring. I don't mind this one. Though, like, Belly Bolt is so good. So, and, like, Empoleon, I feel it probably should be something else, to be honest. Yeah, we'll figure it out. See you guys in the next portion, whatever it is. Peace. And we're back. John was nice enough once again to send me the recording of the battle that happened with Joey. I know pretty much nothing about this other than exactly the result. I don't know what he brought other than one thing, because I did do preview just to know the Terra type. But let's get into it. We did change John's team up a little bit, not like super like a lot, but as you can see, he brought the Samurott and the Avalugg over the Bellibolt and the Empoleon. So probably looking at a generally less defensive team, because like those are kind of his best defensive pieces in the matchup. He just benched them. I'm very surprised by no Bellibolt, because I think Fairy Bellibolt in this matchup was insane. But the Avalugg is Terra Grass, and he didn't bring any other Terra Captains, so he was obviously very scared of the Zarude, which I guess is fair, but he like also brought Whimsicott, and if he brought Fairy Bellibolt, I feel like he could have managed it pretty fine, especially if this probably might mean he's actually not a Booster Valiant, because like if you're a Booster Valiant in the back, like surely you're not that scared of a Trailblaze Zarude, right? Anyway, and no Petch, which is honestly, like, I didn't bring Petch to the mock, but I did kind of think he would bring it. But not seeing it is still probably nice to see. Jesus Christ, John, this face is insane. Anyway, we changed John's game plan a little bit. The prep isn't like super different, but the main changes is I told, as I said in the builder part, if he just keeps Arch in the back for the Valiant with just Choppleberry intact, it's very hard for him to actually find an end game. And we changed the Raikou to Calm Mind Mental Herb, which I'm super glad we're Mental Herb now that we see the Whimsicott. That could come in clutch. I have no idea. I hope it does. That would be pretty sick. Other than that, I think we have a very similar Dio, just not Sash. It's like bulkier, but it still spikes. Other than that, team's like pretty much the same. I think this is Terra Ground now, and instead of another coverage move, it's also Calm Mind, and it's still Tailwind. So those are the main changes. The structure isn't like super different. It's just like some of the sets and intentions are different. Anyway, let's get back. Let's get into the game. So yeah, I think Joey has like a slightly more offensive game. He might be like some kind of like sturdy like Custap lead Avalugg. But like he could also try to do some like Assault Vest Samurott, Fizdef, Terra Grass guy here. I don't know how much I love like the look of Joey's paste. Maybe it's good. Honestly, no idea how this actually turns out. But yeah, he's leading with the Zarude, which I think is totally good. Prevents Samurott lead. It does play into Terra Grass Avalugg lead, but like Avalugg honestly offensively is a little bit annoying, so maybe I don't love it as much, but like you still break the sturdy, and I don't think it's going to be that devastating. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. All right. Damn, even on 1.5 times this game goes pretty slow. I might change this to 2 times. Let's see what happens. Just okay, spacebar. Okay, that pause is good. Okay, yeah, so it's Lugly. That's kind of why I was like a little bit hesitant on the Zarude if you see Avalugg, but we didn't talk about that at all. I didn't think Avalugg would make an appearance because I don't really know how you use Avalugg on Joey's team. Like, I guess it's a little bit of role compression between Fizdef plus Rocks as opposed to Petch, who is kind of just Fizdef wall. So yeah, we could return into the probable Terra Grass because, like, why wouldn't you? Okay, but this still breaks the sturdy anyway, and that's not like a huge damage difference. We could go Arch. I mean, I obviously don't love wasting the Chople. Okay, he actually goes Tenta, which I think I like more. So I'm happy that he did this. I actually am very happy he did this. Good play. So he doesn't have the Petch in the back. We could totally spin this off. I think the Avalugg doesn't want to stay in because we could Surf, but if he Terra Grasses, we can Sludge Bomb. So I feel like you just wouldn't want to like risk that, but you could totally just be a lead thing. We do spin. Yeah, he Terras, expecting no Sludge Bomb, which is pretty fair. Like, he has his game plan. He could also be Spadef. We spin him away, which is good. Terra Blast Grass. Wow, okay. That does do a bit. That looks like a 2-hit KO, like just barely. So that's interesting prep. We could be Sludge Bomb. Joey really shouldn't stay in here, and we are Sludge Bomb. Okay, I actually didn't know that. Cosmo comes in. This poison could be really nice. Okay, it's actually Assault Vest. And that's a really good poison too. Yeah, so he could Ceaseless here. We might want to save this for a spin later. I don't know. We can kind of go Zarude. It's a little risky. He could be X-Scissor, but like I feel like you just have to go Zarude and click a U-turn, go back to Tenta, spin, sack the Tenta, you know. Okay, flip turn because we're faster. That's very good. It's actually relatively meaningful chip depending on how rolls work out. We should probably go Zarude here. I do want to keep the Arch in the back. We communicated that. I don't like Raikou here. Are you gonna go Zarude? Oh, you could go Enamorous. That's actually not like the worst play in the world, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know his bulk. He goes Zarude though. Okay, good. I like how he's playing this. He's doing everything he can, really. This is not going to do too much at all. Wow. And he's poisoned, so this U-turn could actually put him in range of stuff. So, yeah. I didn't love Samu in this matchup. He got his spike, but Tenta is still alive. He has no Petch. Like, I think if you bring Samu, you kind of have to bring Petch into this matchup. Like, especially defensive Petch. In my opinion, like, I know, like, pretty much every week we like see different builds. Did he click U-turn? I don't remember. Badman. He did click U-turn. Okay, so we'll have to wait a little bit before we can spin, but we can kind of go Enamorous. We can go Dio too. I think I like Enamorous more because with the Terra Ground, there's no good like confident click for Joey here. And then a Calm Mind could really start being like messing up Joey's team. I think if I had to guess what Joey would click, if he does stay in, it would be Sludge Wave because the logic there is now you're not resistant to Sucker Punch anymore. So yeah, I do like the Terra. I actually love the Terra. Because like surely if you're Joey, you don't just Earth Power here predicting. That's a very risky play. I don't think Joey plays like that. Yeah, so I like the Terra Ground. I like the Calm Mind. This Sludge Wave, assuming he clicks it, is going to do nothing. Does he click it? He does, yes. Okay. That's solid logic by Joey, but now we are in a super... Like, this is a very scary position for Joey. He doesn't have either Fairy Resist. He has to kind of sack one. Not going to lie. He could be Assault Vest on this Lando. That's totally not out of the question. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I actually have no idea. Don't double Calm Mind. I don't like that. Well, the calcs could actually favor that. I'm not sure. But he clicks Moonblast. Yeah, he's Assault Vest. Okay. Yeah, he's very Spadef Assault Vest too. That is like something that I was considering. I ended up going Pasho. He goes Whimsicott. Is he somewhat offensive? Yeah, you can just go 10 and spin here. I like this play. Definitely take your opportunity to do that. I'm very surprised he went Whimsicott instead of like Ice Beam Latios. Energy Ball, yeah, he's offensive. Ooh, that's Specs. Okay, that makes sense then why he brought this Avalugg. If he's going to bring Specs Whimsicott. Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit bad. That's a cool bring. Yeah. So, yeah, this is... Okay. It is Specs, so we do get to go Zarude here, which is pretty nice. We can keep this alive. I do think I like this play. Because keeping the spin around could be super crucial. Energy Ball's going to do nothing for AV. It actually did some. What the hell? Yeah, free U-turn here. You could also knock, I guess, but I think I like U-turn more. Yeah. Energy Balls again. He is getting his chip. Okay, we could go Arch here, but yeah, it's a little bit scary. We could go Dio as well. He goes Arch. Yeah, that's pretty fair. Just don't let that Chople get popped. That's all I kind of want. I don't think Joey would ever stay. Like, that makes no sense to stay in here. So getting your rocks up is nice. Okay, we want to keep this Arch in the back after this happens. Okay. So the Chople could get popped here. Depends how much depends how much John thinks he can get away with losing the Chople on Arch. He does have bulk on the Dio and its boots. So if you do this trade, which is not like out of the question, you do need to keep Dio in the back for pretty much the rest of the game. And figure out something. I don't hate it. Oh, we're not Boots, we're Colbert. Okay. Well, we're still out of range because we're super bulky, I think. He goes for Aura Sphere. Oh, we got speeds! Oh, it doesn't kill. Sacred Sword, we pop the Chople. We get a defense boost. Okay, but yeah, if we switch out, then we are dead to +2. Close combat. Or just even regular close combat after a spike. So, yeah, scary. Very, very scary. If we can get a spin off at any point. The spikes are permanently off, though, so that would be phenomenal. Joey's probably going to play to not allow that. You see... Oh, Val immediately? This must be a special Valiant, then, because we have a defense boost right now. This has to be a special Valiant. It could honestly be Specs. Terrifying. Or Sphere. Okay. Yeah, it has to be special if you do that. Cool game plan by Joey, honestly. A very, very cool game plan. But yeah, now we don't have to worry about Val outpacing the Dio in the end game, so that's a bit of a load off. He goes for a Spikes, calling the switch out, which I think is pretty fair. He goes into this. It's not Boots. Spikes go up. And it's threatening a spin, but if it does, I think 2 Psycho Boost will kill. So there's a bit of a mind game, because if the Avalugg clicks recover here, then he can spin, right? Oh, that just kills! Not even a crit. Okay, that's actually huge. That's actually so huge. Yo, Dio's like that. That's actually such an insane kill. Oh my god, I don't think you guys realize how huge that is. That's actually insane. That's crazy. Okay. Sacks to Tenna, that's pretty fair. Yeah, it's getting later in the game. The spikes generally won't have as much of an impact, so losing the spin isn't as terrible. It's still not great. But yeah, Val is still alive. But yeah, that interaction with Dio was actually so insane. That could save the game entirely. We do have Calm Mind here. We click it. I think I like that. Okay, we got a free Calm Mind. Badman. Oh, okay. But this is special. This is special. So
I still don't think this Scald kills though. Because it was yeah, it doesn't kill. Jesus Christ. We live that though. Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is getting down to the wire. Holy shit. Yeah, that's super Spadap Thunder. Sorry, Landorus. That's pretty cool bring. Yeah, Specs Moonblast is gonna kill here, but then he has to respond to Psycho Boost, and the Samurot's dead. The Mon advantage here could lead to a win straight up, because he has no response to Psycho Boost anymore. Well, other than the Latios, but oh, did we take off knockoff? Okay, he switches to David. Yeah, it's pretty fair. He's dead to a Draco from the Latios, so that guy doesn't really have much use at all. More than Raikou, because Raikou at least outspeeds the Latios, so I do like that. Goes Dio, and the Psycho Boost is very threatening. We unfortunately have Recover over Knockoff, which honestly I don't remember why we did that. Not gonna lie, but Joey doesn't know that. We could totally Ice Beam as well, so going Latios on an Ice Beam would genuinely lose him the game immediately. So he kind of can't do that. He does have to sack here. Wow, really? He's gonna sack the Latios? He's gonna go Latios? Dude, if we were Ice Beam, that was literally the end of the game. That does do a bit. But if this is Recover, this is way harder now. Oh, jeez. Yeah, if we were Knockoff, dude. Though this could be Colbur. Though I mean, to be fair, I didn't fit Recover on my Latios. Yeah, dude. If we were, that's such a losing play, though. Maybe you have to hope that he's not Ice Beam, but like we could have been Ice Beam. He recovered. Oh yeah, because he EV'd to live that. Probably. I actually have no idea. But that's actually, wait, Recover's kind of clutch then. Yo. Psycho Boost again, yeah. And he's gonna sack this because he's dead to Rocks and Spikes. Oh my god, that was so clutch. Holy shit. Yo, that's crazy. Wait, we're probably going to live off of that. We're probably going to win off that. Oh, Tailwind goes up. Okay, that's a full 3 turns of Tailwind? Yeah, I think it only gets 3. Because it's 4 turns and then one is counted there. So only 3 turns of Tailwind. If you can just survive through a turn, maybe honestly I think you Recover there. But sacking is pretty fair too, because if he Dracos and drops himself, which he might have to do, then you just live. Ace. Okay, it's ice beams. That was a good play. Yeah, I do think that recovering though with Dio was no downside. Now I hope he's not dead to Draco. This is an insane game, dude. Nice. Good Recover. Sick. Yo, Recover's actually clutching so hard. Okay, Tailwind ends. Okay, I think that's the wrong play. I think you actually Draco there. Or not Draco, Psycho Boost, because then you get to Psycho Boost in Psycho Boost. But I think I honestly no, it doesn't make a difference. Nice. Ice Beam. No freeze. Let's go. Yo, I think that's a win, because I think that's just a special Val. I don't think it can pick you off with Sneak or anything. Wow. Okay, yeah. At this point, you do kind of win with Dio. He's just thinking about what the correct move is here, which I think going Enamorous is probably correct. Because at this point, if he had Recover, he would have clicked it. Holy crap, dude. This is a crazy game. Wild. Yeah, because if you miss, that could be bad. Now you don't have to... yeah. I guess it doesn't really totally make a difference, assuming that a -2 Psycho Boost kills from there, but you don't know that it does. So I think this is correct anyway. Yeah, you Psycho Boost, and then even at -2, Psycho Boost will kill the Val as well. Holy crap. Yeah, Latios needing all that coverage ended up winning him the game here. Oh my god, dude. Wait, what? He was Scarf and he just live? Wait, that's even more hype. Holy shit. Oh my god. Wait, what? What percent was he at? Wait, what? Oh my god, he was just Scarf Val and fucking he lived. I didn't even consider that, but like that actually makes a lot of sense. Dude, what is that, 45%? He just fucking lived a Moonblast? I don't even remember what investment we were. I know we were quite bulky. I didn't think we would live that, though. Oh my god, that's insane. What a crazy game. He lived on 3 HP? Oh my god. Look at his face. His low resolution face. Oh my god, what a game. That's insane, dude. I can't believe he won. That actually, I think winning that game seals him for playoffs because BUBL has a more forgiving playoffs bracket. I think it's top 8 out of 12 make it, I think. So now John has 3 wins, and I think that gets him in. That's fucking crazy, dude. Let's go. That's crazy. Okay, well, we take those. That's insane. Pretty well played by John, honestly. This was just like Joey had some pretty tough prep, considering like we didn't really have much experience versus that kind of team. John had pretty last minute prep, not gonna lie. That is so crazy, dude. Recover clutch so hard. Oh my god. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I definitely did. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.